Hey everyone, welcome back. And I have been away because I went on a road trip and I went to Quartzsite, Arizona to the Rock, Mineral, and Gem Trade Show. And I purchased a bunch of crystals and I brought them back and I wanted to show them to you and share them with you. Just to kind of give you an idea, because I do get a lot of questions about where I purchase my crystals and how I purchase them to ensure that, we don't get we're not buying fake crystals. So, and I always have said that one of the best ways is to go out, go to the shops, go physically to the stores or to wherever you purchase them. And a trade show is one of those things. So you can be able to pick up the rocks, feel them. If you have questions, be able to ask questions, and so that you can purchase the crystals that you want. The one thing that I love about trade shows is that when you can go to the trade shows, you have so many vendors. It is humongous. And the one in Quartzsite is humongous. I think the particular site that I went to, because this goes on throughout the city, the particular site that I went to has about probably 200 to 300 vendors, and it is huge. It's like tents for as far as you can see. There are buckets full of raw rock. There are tables just filled with different types of rocks from all over the world. It is, if you are a rock enthusiast, this is the place for you. So really, in all honesty, trade shows are great for the entire family to go to if you're willing to take the trek to one of these places. In Arizona, we have two major rock trade shows. The one in Quartzsite is the first one that happens in January, and then the second one happens in February, and it is the Tucson Rock, Mineral, and Gem Show, the trade show down there. So and that one's a much more popular one. That is a much more worldwide known trade show. And that's where a lot of people go. I would love to go down there. We'll see if I'm going to make it or not. So trade shows for these gem shows are great places for people to go. That you're good for if you're a rock enthusiast, if you are just a young geologist wanting to get into an inspiring geologist, the younger generation, and also, jewelers go down to look for the cabins, or they can get the natural rock material. There are actually cutters on site that can also cut the rocks for you. It's also really great for the metaphysical people who get these stones for their energy and healing properties. For me, I kind of fall in both the rock enthusiast, where I like to purchase rocks for displays and to know where they come from around the world, as well as I do with the metaphysical properties as well. So one of the great benefits of trade shows is that if you look around hard enough, you will find amazing deals. Some rocks you'll go to a metaphysical store, you'll go to a rock mineral store, and you will see this beautiful piece, and it's like $500, and you're just like sticker shock. No, you can come to a trade show and you can probably get it for a little. If you can find just as beautiful pieces, maybe not that exact one, but you'll find beautiful pieces for less money. And it's because a lot of the wholesalers are there, a lot of the artisans that are there, and they're there to directly sell to retailers, or the common, the consumers, for all of us. So if you can get down there, you can find a deal and stuff. And let me just tell you, this particular spread of rocks that I have right here, I purchased all of these in Quartzsite, and these rocks costed me only $1, $1 a piece. So these are tumbled stones, and I will look. So here's a yellow jasper, here's a bloodstone, right? And here is some chevron amethyst. Beautiful, aren't they? Here is a green tree agate. Really beautiful. Here is some cornelian agate. These are so pretty. I now want a palm stone of this. Okay. And then I have a red jasper. And I also have a smoky quartz. So the one thing that's really nice about these is that they are beautifully done, and they come in like the same, they're huge bins. You kind of sift through the bins and you can choose them, and then you can put them in little baggies. And the wonderful thing is that they have you can take little pieces of paper and put them in there so you can remember what type of stone you have, right? So that's a really great thing to have. Now, the other thing that's amazing about this particular set, these are tumbled stones, and here is my other tumbled stones that I have. I have quite a few of them. So you got all these tumbled stones, right? You have my Avertines, you have my Angelite, you have Apatite. You get all these different types of stones. Here's agate, and however you say it. Here's my red jasper. Let's just check this out here. Here's my red jasper. Look how small these are. These stones go anywhere from, $1 a piece, and some of them cost me $7 a piece because of just the type of stones they are. So here is my red jasper, right? That costed me probably $1, $1.50, right? This is the piece that I just got that costed $1. Look at the size difference. Isn't that just amazing? So now that I came back and I looked at this, I'm going, I wish I bought more. I wish I bought more of these. I do like the small ones. They are very useful. I mean, I think every size, every kind has their purpose. So the small ones I still will use, but I really am pleased with this one. I wish I'd have got a few more large ones. So anyways, let's move on because we got a lot to cover. I got a lot of stones that I purchased. So one of the cool things is that since I kind of showed you this apatite, let's talk about this. All right. I like palm stones. So here we go. Everybody has a difference. Okay. Everybody has their difference. Some people love buying spheres. Some people love buying tumbleds. Some people love buying naturals. I do buy naturals. I buy all of them. I just haven't bought any spheres and some people like buying towers or generators, obelisks. It really, you can buy carved. You can buy any kind of crystal that you want that you're drawn to. I just happen to be drawn to palm stones mostly. So here's a palm stone. These are apatites, and I actually got 3 of them. Okay. And these were actually pretty reasonably priced. I mean, apatites, if you go in and you look at any of them on the stores and stuff, these guys are pretty darn expensive, You can get apatites. You can get some palm stones that can go anywhere from like $9, $8, $9, and they can go all the way up to $28, $30, even more. For certain stones. And apatite is no exception in that on the cost of the stones. So these particular ones were like $5 a piece. So you can get great deals at trade shows if you can get yourself out to one. All right. And if you're looking to resell them, these are great too. So those were some palm stones I got. These are not the only palm stones I got. So I also got a lapis lazuli. All right. I got a lapis lazuli, and I chose this particular one because there's a lot of lapis lazulis don't have, you can get some that don't have all this white in it. It's mostly blue, this beautiful, brilliant blue with the gold, speckly stuff in it, pyrite maybe. I don't know my minerals as perfectly well, but I just know that this was a great piece, and I liked it because of its shape and how it was narrow. And it was easily held into the palm. So that's why I got this. And I think it's a beautiful stone. I'll probably get a sodalite so you can see the difference. It's a different type of blue than this lapis lazuli, and it's not as heavy. So that's a beautiful piece. So I got that palm stone. And then I also got some pink calcite. So here's pink calcite. Now it'll be a little hard to see, but there you go. Because the light makes it so it's so glary. So if you want to see the details, I would have to do something in order to make it so that you can see the details. All right. Especially for this one. I got this particular one because it looked like a landscape inside of it. Look at that. You have You have the clouds up here. I saw little birds right there, and then I saw a mountain right there, and then I saw the foreground. So I saw this landscape, but if you can also see the striations, look how beautiful that is. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Here's the back. You can really see them now. So this is a beautiful piece of pink calcite. And I really love how these guys feel in your hands. It's just that real loving, warm energy. So it's really nice. Okay, let's move on. Now, one of my most favorite crystals, and you guys seen it all the time, is my black tourmaline. All right. I have black tourmaline. It's just gorgeous, and it's good for grounding. It's good for protection, and you guys see me, you probably see it all the time on my table when I'm doing readings. The only thing about this particular piece of tourmaline is that it's very crumbly. There's all these striations. They can break off really easy. So I wanted to find some new pieces in order and to be a more sturdy piece. So I did, and I came home with not one, not two, but 3 pieces of black tourmaline. So this is a log. This is a beautiful piece of black tourmaline. And these guys were actually very reasonable in price, these 2 particular ones. So these 2 came from Brazil. This one has some inclusions in here, but this one comes from Brazil, so you can really see them in the back. These guys come from Brazil. You can see the striations, but it's a much more sturdy piece. It's not really so breakable. They're more solid into the center. And I got these because I wanted to be able to use them, not just on my table, but for everything else. So they're a little bit stronger. They can still be crumbly. They're not, gemmy qualities. These guys you wouldn't be wanting to turn into spheres or anything like that. Okay, but I did find one of those. So this is a black tourmaline as well, and this one is a more solid piece. It's naturally terminated, right? And this is, and you can see the striations right there, right? Very strong. So this is a gemmy piece. So this is probably one that you would be able to shape into, spheres or little figurines. Wands. This is the quality that people would have to use in order to turn it into those other pieces. But this is a natural piece, and I like my natural pieces with black tourmaline. And this particular piece, the person that I purchased it from said this particular piece comes from China. So your different regions, although they're the same mineral, they come out of the ground differently. So that's why regions are so cool, right? All right, so that's the black tourmaline. And let's just look at some other stuff I got. Okay, now I was looking for some pyrite because I really wanted to create a grid for energy to be able to create abundance. So using citrine and pyrite and black tourmaline, I was going to kind of create a grid. And I think it would look really pretty too. So I did look for pyrite, and I did find a few. Now, pyrite for me, when I look around town right now, pyrite comes in all of these, tumbled forms, which they work great. However, and so I was kind of looking for this, but I ended up finding its natural form. So here's a piece of pyrite that I found. Look how beautiful that is. So this one is in its bed of what it grew out of, and there's little tiny pyrite pieces inside here. It's just a really gorgeous piece. So then I got that one, and then I found these. These are also pyrite. Look how beautiful those are. These are from Peru. I'm not sure where these are. I forgot to ask where these particular pieces came from. So there's the underbelly, but look at the top. Isn't that amazing? They're so shiny, beautiful pyrite pieces. So I got those. These were like $7.50 a piece. So those were great. See, I told you can find some really nice, reasonable pieces. I mean, that's just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay, so we did those. Now, I also wanted to get some generators, right? So I wanted to get generators because I wanted to be able to create some grids. So here is a a smoky quartz. See, this is gorgeous. This one has a few inclusions on the inside, and I think there's actually a rainbow in here somewhere. And then this is my rose quartz. Now, if I would love to be able to see. So it's kind of really cool because it's like it's much clearer on the bottom and it's pink on the top. I just love this. It's not a perfect piece because there's some chips in it. And, you know, but oh my gosh, look how beautiful that is. Well, look, you can actually see it better this way. See how beautiful that is? Okay. And then I got an amethyst. So here you go. Look how beautiful that is. And these are generators to be able to create grids. Very nicely cut. And then I also got a fluorite. And I like fluorite. My kids came back from South Dakota when they went to go visit the National Monument up there, and they brought me back this beautiful piece of fluorite, right? So this particular piece I don't think could probably be, you know, carved into anything. I think it would be too crumbly. It would probably fall apart. But that's kind of what this is, right? I mean, obviously there's much clearer versions, but this one is just beautiful. And I chose this particular one because it's yellow, because I haven't really seen too many yellows. But here you go. There's a close-up of it. Isn't that gorgeous? There's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. So I got those. So I got that. And then, while we're speaking of generators, I decided that I really, really wanted a citrine. Now, many of you know I purchased a citrine from the Congo. This one comes from the Congo in Africa. This is a beautiful citrine. All right. And I went and I asked I wanted a Brazilian version. So I have one from Africa and I want one from South America. So here's my Brazilian version. Citrine, natural citrine is extraordinarily expensive. This particular one sent me back over $100. Okay. I mean, the price tag was over $200, but they had a sale, so I paid over $100. But look at this. This has some, this is a phantom quartz in it. There's some phantoms or phantom inclusions within this, like a phantom one. But it's actually very clear, but it's yellow. It's gorgeous. I love this piece. It was one of those pieces I picked up and I just couldn't put it back down. So I was like, okay, I'm buying it. And this is going to become it's going to be a generator that I'm going to use. It's beautiful. All right, let's move on because I still have more to show. I bought a lot. Now, there are a couple crystals that I have purchased that more than likely will not be used in any sort of fashion of like healing energy, but I will clear them. I will cleanse them. I will put them out under the full moon that is happening tonight. And it's also an eclipse moon, so this will be really, really cool. I'm going to put those out to clear and ready and charge them, but I will display them. They'll become my display pieces. And also because there's some of these that I've never seen before, and I don't know what they would do, but they were so amazing that my kids were like, Mom, you got to have that. I'm like, okay, I'll have it. All right. And here's the other thing that's really cool. So some crystals, some of the places you buy them, they will give you what mine they come from or what place they come from. So here's a fluorite, and this is a crystal clear one, right? Unlike the wand right here, this one's not so clear. This is fluorite too, and it is very, very, very clear, right? Beautifully clear. And this particular one comes from fluorite cleavage, Cave in Rock, Illinois. So this came from Illinois. And I like that it came like that because it gives me information of where the rock comes from. And it also reminds me of what the price was. So I think it's really amazing. So now this one I'm going to show you. This is also fluorite. Or no, this is calcite. What I'm going to show you is calcite. And I've never seen calcite like this. And it's amazing. So here is this. Look at this piece. I'm going to pull it out here. That is an amazing piece. So here's the box that it came in. It says this is calcite over calcite with pyrite inclusions, Stone Quarry, North Aurora, Illinois. So now I know where this piece came from. And look at that. It's silvery gray. But this is not what made it so amazing. I mean, it's amazing already. Check this out. I'm going to turn it over. Look at that. Isn't that just amazing? So this piece is outside is the calcite, inside is calcite, and inside, and I don't know if you can see it, I don't think you can, but there are little tiny pyrite pieces all inside of this. And it is just amazingly beautiful. I mean, I wouldn't know what to use it for in terms of energy. Maybe I'd have to sit with it for a while, but this, I've never seen anything like this. Isn't that beautiful? That is just so beautiful. It's so gorgeous. So therefore, this piece is going to go somewhere in my house because it's beautiful. All right. So you see, there's some things. And I mean, I was talking to one of the vendors there, and they were talking, and he's like, oh, you kind of know what you kind of know your stones. I go, yeah, I think I'm okay with how much I know. Obviously there's way more I could learn, but he was like, it's all right. He goes, there's over 6,000 to learn. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to memorize all of that. Maybe one day, but not right now. So I'm just going to tell you, there is some amazing stones there. Like this particular calcite, you know, there are stones from all parts of the world. There are stones from, you know, from Brazil. There are stones from China. There are stones from Australia. Oh my gosh, there are so many beautiful stones in Australia. From Australia, I couldn't believe the gorgeous pieces. I am still kicking myself that I didn't come home with at least a piece or two so I could say I have a piece from Australia. I'm going back some point, maybe next year. I'm going back, and I'm going to definitely, I'm going to get myself a piece from Australia because wow, there's some beautiful pieces. Never heard of them before, but gorgeous. So there are pieces, there are pieces from Africa. I didn't see any pieces from like Russia or any pieces from, you know, Europe, but by all means, I bet you there could have been. I could have missed it. I mean, there were like 300 vendors there almost. And that is a lot of vendors to try to get through, especially when you're constantly distracted by shiny things. So it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. They probably were there. I would love to have seen it. There's just so much. And there is just, it's so much fun. It's like a kid in a candy store. Can't help it. Anyways. So that's just, now speaking of that, of display pieces like that, I do have a couple. I did get a couple. One piece that I really love is this quartz cluster. This is from Brazil. There was a bunch of people there with from that quarried here in the United States, like the couples that I showed you. This is quartz crystal, and isn't that beautiful? Clear quartz. I love this piece. It stands up too. Isn't that great? So this piece stands up. So I cannot wait to display this piece. It's just so beautiful. There's now, I'm like, after I have this piece from Brazil, I'm really now anxious to get a piece from like Arkansas. So that is just beautiful. Clear quartz. And now I have a citrine and I have my clear quartz. Oh, things are just awesome. Everything is so beautiful. Now, the last piece, I got one more piece, and this was also a really expensive piece. And this is one that I just could not leave behind. So this is going to be a display piece too. This is a chevron amethyst, and there is just no bad side to this particular stone. And it's obviously, you know, you can see the chevron. And the person that we purchased this from, she was like, well, this was a special find because there were special inclusions within the rock, or special formations within the rock that makes this particular rock special. And that was these things. So normally you see the wave and the bands, but then when they cut it, you see these things. And it kind of looks honeycombed. Isn't that gorgeous? So beautiful. So I ended up getting this stone because, you know, everybody in my family was like, oh, that's so beautiful. And if we never see it again, you're going to be sad you didn't have it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get it. This one too, just like the citrine, was more than $100, but this thing probably, I mean, if I was probably to see it in a store, in a retail store, they would probably be going for like, probably close to $300 or more. It's just gorgeous. I love it. It's a piece. So I am going to tell you, these are my pieces that I received. I am really excited about them. I really love them. They are gorgeous. And this is just to kind of remind you, if you are able to go to a trade show, I would go. There is stones for everybody. And don't get me wrong, you're going to see some really expensive stones, because there was this like humongous like amethyst quartz geode that was like 15,000, or no, it was, I don't know, 30,000 pounds. I don't know how heavy it was, but it was 15 grand, and that was on sale. So there are definitely crystals for all price points. You can get them for $1, right? Fine crystals, beautiful little crystals for $1, or you can get them for much higher than that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I've been able to help to, let's put in some more of these pyrites. Isn't that just beautiful? I really hope that it was educational for you, that you enjoyed the crystals as much as I enjoy the crystals. And I really do hope, if you do get an opportunity to go to a trade show, definitely make it out there. You will not regret it. So I hope you enjoyed. We will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.